wanted to do a wreath this week, doing the lemon theme. I don't know if you've seen wreaths out there lately with the lemon theme, but I thought it was really cute, and I thought it was a great opportunity to show you, of course, another method. So we're going to be using the 10-inch Deco mesh, and this is actually fabric mesh that I'm going to be using. I have 2 of the yellow and white and 1 of the pink and white, and I've gotten a lot of questions about whether you can do the poof method with the 10-inch. So we're going to do that today. We're going to be using a 15-inch wire wreath, and we're going to put our own pipe cleaners on it. So let's get started because it's going to be fun. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our pipe cleaners and we are going to put them in the middle. So I'm actually going to be using the middle. Now if you have, let me see if I can find one. Here we go. Okay, so if you have this kind of wire wreath, I would do it in between the 2 middle layers. But since the one that I'm using today only has 3 layers, I'm just going to go strictly in the middle. So I'm just going to pick a point, and I am going to take my pipe cleaner, and I'm actually going to start right near one of these cross brackets, just because it makes it a little easier. And I'm going to tie it down pretty tight. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this to measure over where to put my next pipe cleaner. So I'm going to do the same thing. Just come up. And since this one is not at a crossbar, I will actually go to the one above it so that I can try and keep this in a good spot. But then I want to come back down here to the bottom to tie it, and I want to make sure I have enough to still make my tie. So then I'll go over again, and I think, let me redo this one. So if we're going to go to the bar above it, I'm actually going to adjust so that I have pretty much an even amount. So I just went to the one above it first, and then I'm going to come to the one below it. That way we have a good amount to measure to the next one that we want to do. This one is also going to be something I'm going to have to do on the layer above. So I will just hook it above and on the middle layer. I want my ties to be coming out where the middle layer is, because that's where we're actually going to be tying our mesh down. Okay, so we'll go across again. This one is pretty close to that middle section, so I'll probably just go ahead and use the middle section because it's close enough that it's not going to make a big difference. And when I do that middle section, I just wrap it around the middle section and then come back and tie it like that. Okay. So I'll take another pipe cleaner, and since we have both the pink and the yellow, it's fine to do either color. So this one is going to be another one that's going to be tied using the top So I'll go ahead and loop it around the top. And then I will tie it so that it is tied down in the middle. We'll go over again, do the same thing. So this is the same thing that they're doing when they do a work wreath. You're just doing it yourself. And since I'm going to be using 10-inch, I don't really want to use a work wreath form just because it just doesn't really work as well when you're doing at least the method that I'm going to be showing you. Okay. There we go. So this one is really close to this middle section, so I'm going to go ahead and use this middle section. Oops. I'm going to go on the correct side. So I'm just going to pull it around that little crossbar. And tie it down again. If you're worried about these moving, the other thing you can do is you can put a little bit of floral wire around them. You can put a little hot glue here. Either one of those work great. But you know, the biggest thing that helps is just tying it on tight. And once you get your Deco mesh on there, or in this case fabric mesh, that also will help keep them in place. So, okay. So just measure over again. Go top and bottom. Tie it in the middle. And just loop it around one time just for extra measure. So let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's a good number. I might move that over a tad. Yep, that's good. Okay, I don't think we need to add another one. So we can get started. So this is going to be a little different than some of the ones we've done. But that's what makes it fun, I think. And now I'm using fabric mesh. So the fabric mesh is a little different. It just has a different texture, but it's still really cute. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using 3 rolls of the 10 by 10 inch. We're not going to use the whole thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to put all 3 on together at one time. So that's what makes this method pretty different. So it's kind of similar to when you are cutting. When you're cutting several rolls of mesh together, you run the rolls together. So we're going to do that. That part of it is going to be similar, just because you're going to be putting all 3 together. So what you do is you put all 3 together. So Ross decided to come in and help me. You want to say hi? Hi. Okay, so as I was saying, what we're going to do is we're going to take our 3 ribbons together, so our 3 Deco mesh together, just like this. And you're going to do the same process. So you're just going to pinch it up like this. And pick which tie you want to start with. I think I'll start with one that's at a crossbar. And I'll just put it down and take my pipe cleaner and tie it one good time. Okay, so once you put the first one in, I like to take a zip tie and just tie it down just because it kind of helps keep it secure. Right, Ross?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just tie it down. Cut it off and then slide it around the back. Like that. Okay, so now that you've gotten that done, you're just going to do just like you would doing a regular poof. So I'll just take all three like it's one, do my poof. I'm going to decide how big I want my poof. I think about that. Let's see how big that is. About 10 inches. So I'll just put that down, tie it down one good time, and I'll just keep doing the same thing. So I'll take this, do about the same.
How many wreaths have you made?
I don't know, a bunch.
Hundreds?
Maybe.
100.
Yeah, hundreds probably.
I didn't know you've done it for so long now.
And you tie it down one good time. So you're going to do this all the way around.
Time lapse.
And I would suggest just kind of pushing your mesh off to the side just because it makes it a little bit easier.
Okay, this is kind of
To
actually
pull
making me
out.
thirsty.
The juice line.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going all the way around, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what we're going to do next. So Ross and I will be back. I think we'll be going to get him a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I've gotten back around to where I started. So I'm just going to cut that off and then take one of my zip ties and I'm going to tie it to the base just so it won't go anywhere. Like that. Alright, clip that off. And I'm just going to push it back so you can't see it. Okay, so the reason that we put 3 together is we're actually going to have 3 loops. So what we're going to do is we're going to take them now and separate them. So we're going to pull one to the top, one to the middle, and one to the bottom.
And one to the puppy.
And one to the Bella. Okay.
There, Bella.
So see, now you have 3 poofs. 1, 2, 3. So you just keep doing that. You just pull it out like this. Separate them into separate little poofs.
Sorry, excuse me.
You.
Sorry.
Boys and their noises.
I just drank Coke. What do you want me to do?
I know. So we're just going to do this all the way around. It does make for a different look. You don't have to leave, sweetie. Are you leaving? Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Just like that. Now I'm doing this with fabric, but you can do this with Deco mesh. So I'm just going to keep going around and separating these. Like this. And then kind of fluffing them up. See, and I'm pulling the pink. I had the pink in the middle because I kind of want it almost to look like that I did 2 loops of the yellow and then I came around with an additional loop of pink, and that's kind of what this, when I do this, it's kind of what it looks like to me. So, once you get all the way around, then what you can do is start decorating. So the reason I like this method is, one, you can use the 10-inch, which a lot of times, you know, the 10-inch is a lot less expensive. Sometimes it's easier to find. Sometimes the really cute patterns are in the 10-inch and not in the 21. You can use a smaller base. So I just keep doing this. We're almost back at the beginning. And you can just kind of pull it to how you want it. You know, if you want, see now I really kind of like the middle to be on top, like that. But it's how you want it to be. You can make 3 distinct layers, but I kind of like the look of having the middle on top so that it almost looks like I added in another layer. I just kind of like that. There we go. Alright, so we've gotten back around to the beginning. So once I get this all spread out, and I'll tell you, you can do this with 2 as well. You don't have to do it with 3. I just happened to do it with 3 this time, so I've done it with 2 quite a few times. And it looks just as cute. But I do like the 3 because it does make it a little fuller. And see, now I used the fabric mesh, which is a little different. But it had these really cute colors, and that's really what I was trying to get, because it looks really cute with my little sign. So now that I've gotten this pulled out like this, what I'm going to do next is I am going to decide what ribbon I want to use with it. I have several different ribbons that I thought would be cute, because what I'm trying to do is coordinate with the sign. So sometimes when I'm doing a wreath, what I'll do is I will see a sign or something like that, or a ribbon. Sometimes I just start from ribbon. Sometimes I start from the mesh. But I found this sign and I thought it was so cute. And these are really popular right now, these lemon wreaths, and I thought, oh, I want to do that. And then I found this mesh and I thought, oh, that's perfect. So this sign I actually got from Walmart, and it had several different little things attached. So it had like a watermelon, a lemon, an orange. So I just took this apart. It was all attached, which I really like to find things like this, because when I find things like this, I can separate them, and each one of these can be a wreath, and that's pretty great. So I'm always looking out for things like this, because it just makes it fun when you do find something. So I have this, I have a bunch of different colors of ribbon, and I have a few lemons. So the next thing I'll do is I'll just decide which ribbons we're going to use. I have my little tool. So I think that one looks good. That one does. Definitely. Yes. I don't know if I like that one. I think that one looks cute. That one looks okay. I'm not sure about that one yet. So what I'll do is what I normally do. I'll just take my ribbon. I'll use my little cardboard tool that I made that has a duct tape on it. This is the 6-inch because I want to do 12-inch ribbons. See, because this is a 10-inch. This is 10-inch mesh. And I did not make the puffs really large. So the 12-inch ribbon will be fine. So I'll just use my 6-inch tool and I'll just wrap it around. And cut some ribbon out. And if you've watched my videos before, you know about this tool. If you haven't, I just took a piece of cardboard and cut it 6 inches because I make a lot of ribbons at 12 inches. I just wrap it around, run my scissors through and cut it off, and it just makes cutting ribbons so much faster. See, because just that fast, I've cut 4 ribbons. I do like to dovetail mine, so I just fold it over, cut at an angle, like that. So I'll just go through and cut several different ones of these ribbons, and then I'll come back and we'll start putting the ribbons on, and we'll put some of the little lemons and stuff and our sign. Now the other great thing about this sign is that it already has holes in it, because when I purchased it, it was kind of all attached together. So I'll use those holes to tie it onto my wreath. So I'll either use floral wire, and sometimes if I use floral wire and I think it's going to really show, I'll go and paint my floral wire. I have done that many times, especially if it's a color like white or something like that. I just keep little mini spray cans of paint around. See, like I have a black, I have a pink, and so sometimes I'll just take my floral wire and I'll paint it. It takes 15-20 minutes for it to dry, and then it really does make a difference because it's just not as obvious. And this is a really great way to tie it down, because it's going to be pretty tough for something like this wire to come off when you're working on a wreath, or when you send it to someone, or you hang it on your door. So this is just a great method to use. So I'll keep cutting the ribbons, and I'll be back shortly and we'll start putting it on our wreath. Okay, so I've gotten everything fluffed out and I am ready to put some ribbons on. I got some ribbons cut, and I have my little lemons, and I wanted to show you what I'm going to do with these. And I already have pipe cleaners. I just ran right through the holes of this sign. So what I'm going to do is just take some of these ribbons, pitch them in the middle, open my pipe cleaner back up and put it down. And then I'm going to tie it down 3 or 4 good times. Okay, and then I want to spread out my ribbon, so I want you to be able to see both ribbons. So I'll just spread them out like this. Okay, move that side. And so my ribbon is pink and yellow because that's what my wreath is. And these are my mother's favorite colors. I don't know if I told you that my mother asked me to make her a cheerful wreath, so that's what we're doing. We're making her a cheerful wreath. Okay. So I just keep going around doing this. Getting all my ribbons in. Okay, so now we've gotten all of the ribbons on. So I'm going to figure out where I want to put my sign. I think I'm going to put it, right over here. So what I did is I just took my pipe cleaners and put it right through those little holes. So if yours didn't come with holes, you could drill little holes in them and do the same thing. And then I will use that to kind of push it down close to the base. And I will just flip it over. I'm going to tie it on the sides like this. Just like that. Make sure it's still where I want it to be. Yeah, like that. Like that. Okay, so once I'm sure I have it where I want it to be, let's see. I'm going to tie this a tad tighter. Okay. Make sure the other side is good. Yep. Okay, and then I'm just going to make sure it's tied down really well. I'm going to cut these off because I don't need that much. Okay, and then I'm just going to wrap that around the frame so that it won't be sticking out and cutting into the door. Okay, so we got that on. There. Like that. Okay. Then I have, oh, there it is. I have this one. I thought that would look cute. Well, I don't know if we're going to put that on. Okay. I do have some little lemons that I got, and what I did is I just drilled a little hole in it and ran wire right into it. And I'm also going to take my hot glue and just put a little dab right where that wire's coming out. There we go. Just to kind of keep it in place. Okay. And it'll also help so that that wire won't cut into the little lemon anymore. So I thought I would show you how I did that. So I just got these little lemons, and this one has a little kind of imperfection on it. So I know for sure I want it to be like this. So I just take my drill, and I have a really tiny drill bit that I use when I'm doing things like this. And I just make a little hole straight across. Like that. And then what I can do is just take some floral wire and just run it right through that hole. Like that. And then I know that it is not going to come off. Because although hot glue is really great, it can disintegrate after a while, can make, weather can cause problems with it. So it's just better if you use wire whenever you can. Okay, so I'll let that dry for a minute. I think what I'm going to do is on this other side over here, I'm going to make a little bow. So I have this cute little ribbon that has little lemons on it, and then just regular yellow. So I'm just going to put them together. So this is a 2.5 inch and this is a 1.5. So I'm just going to make a simple bow. So I'll take this. I'm going to figure out how large I want my bow to be. I don't want it to be too big. Maybe there. So that's about a 4-inch loop. So I'll just take this and get the same size on the other side. Oops. Okay, I am leaving a little bit on the end just so that I have, so it won't come loose later. So I'm just going to fold it in the middle and make sure they're the same size. They are. Okay, I'm going to pinch it. Then I'm going to take this and flip it around like that because I want this pretty side to be seen. So then I'll make another loop like that. And I'm going to do the same thing. Whoop. I'm just going to twist it so that that lemon is back on top. Come back down and make sure it's the same. It is. Okay, then I'm going to take I put my pipe cleaners away. Okay. So I'm just going to take a yellow pipe cleaner and just tie it around. And I'm going to pull it as tight as I can and take this and just twist with my hands like that. That'll help keep it tight. And I'm just going to cut this off here because we will make our tail separate. So I got that done. So now we'll do a little tail. So a lot of times I won't measure it out. I just kind of eye it and see, you know, how long I want it to be. Maybe about right there. So let's see, this is about 18 inches. So I'll just cut that. Move this aside. Then I just want to dovetail my ends. I think it just kind of looks nicer. Okay. I'll do this side. There we go. All right. So this is the middle. So that's where I want to attach it to the bow. Here we go. So I'm going to take some floral wire and I'm going to replace this pipe cleaner with floral wire. Just because it's a little bit easier to get it as tight as I want it to be. So okay. So I'm just holding it while I'm taking this apart. Okay. And I'll just take the middle, right like that. I'm just going to put my floral wire on it and pull tight as I can get it. and then twist. There we go. Now I'll just kind of move these to the front. Okay, and you can put it down on your wreath. Now I'm just going to use this floral wire and I'm just going to tie it down. Whoop. So I'm going to tie it down and then I'm going to fluff it. So if you tie it down to your wreath, then you can use your wreath to hold it while you fluff it. Kind of like having a fluff box. Okay, there we go. Alright, so now just move my ribbons around again and then I'll fluff them out. Like that. Okay. There we go. It's tied down pretty tight, so you know I can move it around and get the ribbons going where I want them to go. Okay. And once I get them in the right spot, I will move my ribbon back down and make sure it's going the direction I want it to. I think I want this to stand up a little more. And then I just fluff it up. Like this. I want that little lemon to show. Another thing you could do is you could take one of your lemons and put it right in the center. I think that looks cute. So my glue's dried now from that. So I'll just take this and kind of run it behind my ribbon like this. And then tie it down. Okay. So I'll just wrap it around my frame and then just kind of make sure everything is still fluffed up. There we go. See, that looks cute. It's not a big ribbon. I didn't want it to be a big bow. I mean, it's not a big bow. I didn't want it to be a big bow. I just want it to look cute and I have some of that little lemons on it. Okay. Alright, so now I will just take a few more of these lemons and I'll figure out where I want to put them. Maybe one here. And I'll just do the same thing. I'll just run it through the base because I want it to be in the middle of these ribbons. So all I'm doing is pushing my mesh aside, putting that down, that, so like that, and then I will just tie it to the base like that. There we go. All right. There we go. And then what you can do is you can cut off your pipe cleaners like that. And then I'll just kind of move it around the base of the lemon. There. Like that. I think that's cute. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do that one over here. So I'll just do the same thing. I'll just move it aside, run my wire through. Whoops. Like that. Now on this one, I'm not gonna pull these down all the way because I want you to be able to see it. So I'll pull it down enough to make sure it's secure, and then I will just tie my wire down like this. There we go. I do always use more floral wire than I need, just because it's really terrible if you get it and everything's going great and then you don't have enough. So then I'll take what's left of this pipe cleaner and cut some of it off. And then I'll run it around the wire that's around this lemon. It'll keep them both in place. There we go. Then I'll just fluff my ribbons back out like that. See, isn't that cute? Right there. That's real cute. Okay, so I'm gonna tie a few more in the ribbons. So I'll do what's left. And then that'll be it. I think that sign is a little bit tighter than I want. So, and that's the great thing, is that if it comes out the way you don't like it, just redo it. It's okay to do that anytime you need it. Sometimes I'll think it's gonna look the way I want it to, and then it doesn't, so I have to undo it and redo it. So it was just being a little bit too squashed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna retie this down so that it looks like this. Okay, so once we've gotten all the ribbon on and the bow, there, cute little bow. Then, since I took the sign off, I didn't really like it over there. So I'm actually going to put it kind of in the middle. So I've just wired it down with some floral wire and then put a little bit of glue on it. And then I'm just going to run it through so that I can get it on the frame. I'm just running my wires through. And I want to figure out how high, or I mean how much I can wire. So, there we go. There we go. See, I like that a lot better. So I have a couple options here since I've decided I want to put it in the middle. I can just leave these two with it tied and I can kind of glue it down here, or I can make a little hole here and do another little tie that way, which I think that's what I'm gonna do. That'll probably hold it well. And then I might even put a few little pieces of, or a few little drops of glue on. And then I have some larger lemons, and I have just some cute little floral in the yellow. And I thought it would be cute if I so I just tied it, cut some off and tied it behind the lemon. These are larger lemons. So I'm just going to tie them down the same way. So I'll just take them, run them through to the frame. Whoops. And then I want to make sure I have it so that you could see a little bit of that yellow greenery flower. And I'm just tying it onto the back. Okay, there we go. And then I'll just do the same thing. I'll just take the pipe cleaner and cut it down. And then just kind of run it behind this lemon. So it helps secure the lemon and it hides the pipe cleaner. There. There. So now we have a little bit of flower here with our lemon. See? I think that looks cute. I like that. Okay. So I have 2 more like this. So I'll just pick where I'm going to put those. Maybe one right here. Okay. Just run that through. Put it in position. Yeah, like that. See, that just gives it a little bit more interest and dimension. And it is certainly okay to do something different. I don't tend to put a lot on the wreaths that I make for my mother because she really likes things simple more than to have too many things on it. But there. I like that. That's cute. Okay. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 more we can put something in. So I will either just put the little ones or I'll put the bigger one with some of this little yellow flower. But that's it. We'll just put one up there so you can see. It's very simple. It's very easy to make. I love the colors. I think the pink and yellow just look really cute together. And then of course my ribbon has the same colors in it. And on this one I only used 4 different ribbons. Just because, you know, I think the simple on this looks pretty nice. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. And I will be back soon. I have quite a few planned. I've had some requests. So we'll be doing a tulle wreath, a vine wreath, a ladybug wreath, and some cancer awareness wreaths. So I hope you enjoyed this and that it will inspire you to make something of your own, even if it's very different. I love this technique. It's just very fast and easy, so you know you can do it with any colors or theme you would want. So leave a comment and subscribe, and if there's any that you want to see specifically, let me know and I will see you soon. Bye bye.